July 25th, the Yankees lost 3 out of 4 against Boston. They blew 2 terrible leads. Let's talk Yanks. Okay. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. Welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings, episode number 630. The Yankees lose 3 of 4 to Boston. The series was bookended by 2 nauseating, terrible, excruciatingly frustrating losses that I think sum up yet again everything that's wrong with the thought process or thinking or establishment of the team. So, Jake, how are you doing?
James, BBD, everyone in the chat just saw this is a group therapy session. Maybe. Maybe. I think there's going to be a lot going out. We'll see what's going in. Yeah, man. It's I've never seen a team shoot themselves in the foot like this. You're in the 8th inning today saying, like, I don't know, I guess, Herman shoved, and this team showed a little fight getting the last 2 games, and then they just pooped their pants. And I think I've said it on here before. It's a line I really like. It's about free throws, Jim. And it actually comes from Greg Poon, my guy, does some Talkin' Nick stuff. He says in the pros, and anytime you're shooting free throws, it's make your misses. Like the guys who are really good at free throws, you'll see them. It's not always a swish, but you'll see it like front of the rim, in, front of the rim, back of the rim, in. Like they make their misses. This team, they can't make their makes. Like if this was a good baseball team, they could have gotten 4 pretty easily this year.
How many games have they won this season?
This year, 51.
Over, under, if I honest guess, 22 clean, good wins.
Ooh, clean, good wins. Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere around half. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's bad, man.
So, yeah, I mean, we're going to roll through it. It's not going to be a traditional Talkin' Yanks episode because it's not a traditional Yankees team. So we're going to have to go about it in our own way a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, you can circle moments in all 4 of these games that this team could have won, and a lot of good teams would have won. Instead, they lose 3 out of 4.
And you know what I was doing?
What can you do?
What I was doing, I was driving from the shore to the Bronx to be here. I was counting if they won today because they were up and there was a no-hitter and they were looking good. I was counting. I was like, okay, that would make them 11. They were 9 and 12, so math, 11 and 14.
14.
That means they won 11 of their last 14 games. And I was like, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I said, if they go to the Trop and somehow manage to win 2 out of 3 there, then we're talking about, 13 of 17 they've won. I'm like, it doesn't feel like it because there's been some brutal losses, like the Altuve one, and all losses are bad, and even game 1 of the Red Sox, bad loss. So it doesn't feel like it, but I'm like, shit, you look back at that, you're like, damn, that's actually a very impressive streak, and I just got way too ahead of myself.
Yeah, and no, Jim, you weren't. You weren't, because with a normal team, you weren't. Because, yes, all of that is true, and then it's an off day, and then it's 2 lefties, which the Rays are the worst hitting team against lefties in baseball, and then a Garrett Cole on the final day. So you're talking about potentially, going into Tampa and doing it, which, again, we are.
They don't do.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. So, we're robo-tripping on our own here. But, man, it is incredible. I mean, there were 2 losses in this series with, again, pretty much the season on the line that should be the worst loss of a team's season. And they just did that double up in an important series against your rivals. And we've been saying this almost every episode. And maybe there's some people coming in to drink Yankee tears right now. Hi. Thanks for coming in. And that sounds dramatic. It is truly not. I promise you. I mean, the Altuve one from the other day. Someone mentioned the Minnesota Twins one where Chappie gave up 4 straight hits and runs. And I was like, wow. Like, that should stand out in my head, and I had completely forgotten it. I mean, we could do, and maybe we will. Maybe we'll get one of the interns on it. We'll do, like, the top 10 worst losses this year.
Fuck that.
And I think people would be like, I think the outside world would be shocked. Because, again, there's that Yankee energy, like, oh, you know, they're the Yankees. They're probably being dramatic. Like, this team's probably still solid. They're above 500. I think our top 10 mixtape of losses would shock outside fans.
Well, they lead the league in being up 4 runs and then getting losses. Yeah, man, and then I was prepared to say like the Red Sox split, and I was doing all that math about whatever it was, 13 of 17, whatever it was. But I was gonna sit here on the episode and say I'm still not like happy or
right.
or like motivated or because they needed to win the series to be like put some pep in my step or some like gusto, you know.
I was gonna call them the Frankenstein Yanks.
I was just
they
gonna
wouldn't
say
fully die.
They keep doing enough,
yeah,
to be like, well, if they win 5 in a row after this, like they kept doing enough. I mean, there's going to be a point where they're out of it, and it's going to be the most fun September to just watch development, watch Sevy get healthy, watch some guys get called up, see them play loose because they're already out of it. Like, there's going to be a point where it's refreshing that we won't have our hearts on the line.
I just want to warn you. Don't rule anything out with this Yankees season. I could see them being 8 games out with 8 to play and Corey Kluber making his first start back. So I'm excited for your thought of that.
Well, that's fine. I wouldn't care. I'm saying I wouldn't care.
Right. I think we're going to be dragged through it for a little bit more.
And if they lose in Tampa,
right,
I am carefree.
Okay.
You know, fortunately, like baseball, second wild card stuff works because like you're above 500.
Otherwise,
you
we'd
don't
already
get
be
to
there.
fully die. Which, like, yeah, that's cool. But
I mean, if I didn't have any Yankees bias in my bones, I would bet my life savings that they don't make the playoffs. If this was just looking at the team and the record,
right,
and it wasn't the Yankees and it was the Mariners or the Twins, I would bet everything. But because I am addicted to the Yankees and
sure,
and faith can go a long way because I'm a stupid Yankee fan. Like I'm
still
still rooting, and like you root for the miracle, but there's no fucking chance.
If anyone else use it, this is the way they lose games and like use their bullpen, and why would you believe in that?
Yeah, and that's where things suck. Because again, if they had won this game like they should, we'd be saying, all right, like Judge supposed to come back in Tampa. Like, what trade are they gonna make? Or are they gonna get a couple pesky veterans that'll add to the mix? And now, just devastation. They find a way, and they move on, and get ready for Tampa. Get ready for heartbreak in Tampa.
The Trop.
A lot of good memories there.
So let's go game by game here.
lot to digest.
We're not gonna burn it, I guess.
It's happy emotions with the burns. I'd rather not bring that.
All right, not going to burn it, but they are brought to you by DraftKings. And if you want to go make an easy bet on DraftKings, you can take the Yankees to not cover the spread. They are the 3rd worst out of all 30 teams this season at covering the spread. They're 42 and 56 against the spread. The only teams worse than them are Atlanta and Minnesota. 2 other teams that had high hopes were picked to win their division and absolutely suck. So Vegas still keeps making them the favorite because some general public doesn't understand that they suck, and then they don't cover the spread. So Twins, Braves, Yankees. Bet on them to not cover, and you should be in good shape. And when you do bet on them, download the top rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits. Also, if America wins a medal, you can turn $1 into $100 in free credits. You just choose any American to win a medal. If they win a medal, you get 100 free credits. You put them on the Yankees to not cover the spread. You win money. That's code JOMBOY to turn $1 into $100 in free credits for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA. Only new customers, only restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Game 1 was a while ago, and I wish I forgot it more than I do. It came after the Phillies series, Jake, when they went with a ragtag pitching combination because they wanted to save their players for Boston.
Yeah.
And be healthy for Boston. And then in game 1, we had Brooks Kriske in his 15th professional outing trying to lock down the save in extra innings with the runner on second base.
Which we did the game before, by the way.
Yeah. And want to know why? Because they still prioritize rest and their formula over urgency and wins.
Right. Their unproven formula.
Their
should be noted.
unproven formula that hasn't shown any results. No Chapman for 3 games. They've broken the 3 games in a row rule once or twice. We've seen them actually break it.
Right.
And if there was ever a time for it to break, it'd be here because Brooks Kriske, no offense to you, Brooks, I think you'd agree, you shouldn't be in that spot.
Right.
You should not be in that spot.
That's no offense to Brooks Kriske.
None at all. He sets the record for most wild pitches in an inning with 4, and they don't take him out even when he faced the 3 batters and there was no signs of life. They still leave him in there. And then at the end, the most baffling decision is they get 1 out. Now you can bring in the new pitcher, who's Wilson, who also sucks. But hey, Kriske's like shook.
Right. Like there's, as tough as we've been on Justin Wilson this year, he's a veteran MLB pitcher. Brooks Kriske, like you said, literally tied the record for most wild pitches in an inning.
Yeah.
And like you have an out and you can set up a double play, which the Yankees should be super familiar with as they lead baseball in it. But no, no, they don't set that up.
I thought it was the most given of givens that they would. Well, because he had to face a 3rd batter. So the intentional walk to, was it Renfroe?
I'm getting in there. Well, they didn't intentional walk,
But
right?
if they did, I think it was Renfroe.
Yeah, it was Renfroe.
Would have put the double play in order, which would have been inning-ending double play. And coming up is a slow contact hitter, Vasquez, and you take the shook rookie out and you bring in the veteran who's been bad, but hey, like just a hope and a prayer, at least one fucking pitch, and you can get out of the game.
Right.
That's the table you're setting. They just not proactive. They don't. I'm starting to think Boone and Co. don't fucking think.
Yeah.
Like a straight lack of thinking and foresight and feel. What if I told you you can change the pitcher who's in the game while setting up an inning-ending double play?
A chance to get out of it.
Would you rather do that than just roll the dice on the pitcher who's struggling and now an out
wins
the game for them?
Which it did.
And you have no chance to end the inning or win the game with 1 pitch? I mean, how many people are going to not take the double play option?
It was shocking. It was shocking. There's no logic to it. There's no logic to it, and I think that's the part where you said, are they not thinking? The fact they had Justin Wilson up means you had to be thinking about something, and they said he was up in case of emergency. I think we found it. Were you waiting for the stadium to catch on fire?
Like, was Krisky gonna have to faint?
Shit his pants.
What was
turds on the mound?
Honestly, dude,
turds on the mound.
What? How do you not follow up and say, how was that not an emergency?
Right.
What's your definition of an emergency then? How's that not the follow-up?
Here's a move. It puts you, like right now, Boone, you're a pitch away from losing this game, but you're not a pitch away from winning it. How about there's a move that you can do that gets you a pitch away from losing it, but also a pitch away from winning it.
Right.
How do you not fucking do it? Dude, it makes no sense. And wait till we get to game 4.
Yeah.
Because it's more of the same.
More of that to come.
And on the guys going 3 days in a row because they didn't have the best pitchers. If there's ever a time to do it, it's when you have Garrett Cole the next day going.
Exactly.
He's your guy.
He's stretched out.
I mean,
he's on
he
the
is
line.
guy.
Jake, I tweeted our text exchange about this, and like your one line is so good, where you say about the rest and they also didn't use Gary late,
Right.
and I know he's going through back spasms and stuff, but that I will like I don't know how
We don't
bad
know.
It was, you know.
We do know he played.
Yeah,
It's an
he did
injury
play.
question.
He did play the next day or no 2 days or 3 days later or whatever, but you said the rest stuff is insanity and will be proven wrong in years. And reminder, it has not been proven right yet.
Right.
And then
There's teams that don't operate this way.
And then you said
most of them
do not operate this way. And then you said in our text exchange that I tweeted out, you said having half the bullpen not available to pitch is insane. And yeah,
yes.
How do you go into this series and you go into a game and you say, no, we can only go with the bad guys, when you just did that in Philly to save for the good guys?
Like, don't get me wrong. I know science has gotten involved a little bit, and like you have to keep track of it. And well, the injuries are back. You know, we were tied for number 1 in MLB in injuries, so snaps for that again. So it's working. And then, yeah, man, I not going back to the old days, but how it used to work would be like, you know, if you burned Ramiro Mendoza 3 days in a row, you know, then you gave him 2 or 3. And then the next guy had to do it. Or you had, you know, the Garrett Cole throws 8 innings and resets the rest of the bullpen so that guy can get extra rest. Like, there's other ways to do it than lay it out on a computer where it's too off. And we've heard some different rumors about stuff going on in the bullpen with some veteran type stuff. You know, kind of saying they're out, and like, you know, there's a certain level where you can do that if you've really burnt yourself out and you know you're a respected veteran in this league. We're kind of not at that point in the season, and man, everything we've said and everything we've talked about here, you know, we're a Chad Green pitch away from just shaking hands, getting a W, a nice win, boys, keep it moving. And that's what makes it so sad. You know, we should be talking about how Big Sal Romano comes in and drops it a little bit. His Yankees debut, Southington High, shout out. Coach Austin Magaro of the soccer team over there. He's a friend. You met him. He's a Maryland guy.
There was a lot of good things about this game.
Sessa, the 5-pitch inning. And then there was that whole debate. Do you bring him back out? Because if you are so scared of your bullpen and their usage, then there's a full argument like, wow, Sessa was clean. Like, try it out. See if you can use his bullets. I do get, like, I think that turned into an ugly discussion online, which should be a good baseball discussion. Like, Chad Green's a better proven reliever. You go to him to get the win. I get that. But if we are doing this scared bullpen stuff, I do get where it's like, I don't know, Sessa looked pretty crispy. If half our bullpen's dead, like, this is one of the chances you have to take, and then maybe have Chad ready to go or something like that. So it sucks, man. And there's so many. I've said it so many times. I've said it. You know, the phrase we initially liked was like, you know, you could watch a baseball game and you see one thing or you see 100 things happening at once. There was so many little things in this game and all of this series that changes the whole outlook of the game. The ball to Wade at third when he tries to turn the double play too quickly and that goes out of his glove. Like, hey, there's an out that we could have used later. And all of these little things just add up on top of one another, and that's why it turns into non-winning baseball, where go look at the team that was across the field from us today. That's a good baseball team because when they're in positions to make the play, they do it. Baseball happens. It's a tough sport. It's a weird fucking sport. But, man, those little things, when they add up, it's a great way to lose baseball games, and we saw it. I mean, Monty dropped some dick. He had the tired legs. That whole quote was kind of honest and good outside of everything else.
I didn't hear it. What was the quote?
So this was the rain delay game, right?
Yeah.
So Monty comes back out because he had looked so good. And so he gets pulled with 5.2. And he told Boone when he was going out for that last inning, he's like, I'm being honest with you, like, my legs are tired. Like, I'll go out there, but...
Yeah.
Which, like, okay, good. That's kind of how sports conversations are supposed to happen. So when he lets the runner get on there, that's when they go to Big
Also
Sally.
righty versus now tired lefty Monty.
Right.
So, like, I was fine with all of that. There's a lot of good stuff from game one, man. I mean, it's kind of personal, but I mean, you had DJ steal a base. You had in extra innings, they finally played the sack bunt sack fly game. You know, the Yankees refused to play extra innings the way it's supposed to be played for a long time. And you had earlier they scored a run on a Rugi bunt, Glaber sack fly. They're scoring runs on outs, moving guys over, doing all that shit. But then,
which that's another one that K-Ster was running hot on the internet streets because Odor did that bunt on his own and
rounded the bases.
He obviously should have touched home. But Rugi did that on his own, and K-Ster was going to war on Twitter. Because, the Yankees were up 2-1 there. If Rugi drives a ball, who he has been, like, the hottest hitter on the team, that's when you stretch out the lead, which we're finding the non-importance of that. I think at the time everyone was pretty smitten with it just because how the Yankees have been operating, and it was just like the King Rugi show. But, yeah, and then he hits that double off the wall in the situation the next day, and K-Ster got to walk on some graves with that. But all of those little things, man, they end up adding up.
I hate to dwell on game one because I think we're ready to talk about other stuff. But unless I missed more, did you see what Boone said about the not sticking with Sessa thing?
Mm-mm.
The only quote I saw was he cited not sticking with him because he threw 29 pitches Tuesday. He didn't have like Chad's our reliable guy and Chappie's down. We're going with our best guy available. He didn't do that line, which would have been a fine answer.
Right.
Like going to Chad isn't the wrong thing to do.
Right, he's the upper tier reliever.
But he cited Sessa throwing 29 pitches 2 days earlier when he's a multi-inning guy as a reason he wouldn't throw him out there again when the bullpen's short.
He just searches for answers he thinks people are going to accept.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily fully blame because it's kind of crazy. You got to do press conference before.
Drop in the water compared to everything.
But
Yeah.
I wrote it down because I wanted to remember it.
Here it is.
Temptation when Sessa gets through on 5 pitches to just keep him in?
No, I mean, I felt good about Greeny in a save situation tonight. So, it was going to be Sessa there in the 8th. And remember, Sessa's coming off 2 days ago throwing 30 pitches. So I was a little reluctant to throw him out for a second up, especially when
See, he's just throwing stuff at the wall. And the first answer is the right answer.
The only tweet I saw was the second half of that.
He said Chad first, which is a good and fine answer, Boone. Like, yes, Chad's one of the best relievers in baseball. And if you still don't know that because he blows big games, go look at James Smythe's timeline because he was tweeting out. Like, Chad has the most shutdown innings in all of baseball. Any reliever ranks number 1. He ranks top 5 in almost every reliever stat.
Yeah.
When he gets got, it hurts because he pitches in high level situations. And then Booney does the Sessa thing just to add more
and there's another
defense, but that's nonsense. He's a stretched out pitcher.
And we on Talkin' Baseball, we had brother Jeff Passan on the other day. Go check that out if you're interested. Got a little silly. And he talked about, baseball has gone away from the importance of a manager, and I guess we're going to be talking a lot of managerial stuff this episode. The strike zone in this game, and this is, BBD, you're right, we do have to move on. It was an old school strike zone. They weren't doing high, but it was going outside a little bit. And so Chad Green which again, just a little thing. And, there's a core decision that I liked in Game 4 that we'll circle up on, but Chad Green is effective with the high fastball. So if he's not getting that call, does that make Chad Green as effective? And then Kaster was also on, he threw 2 heaters to Kike, which I think he's like a pure fastball hitter. So when you put all that in the bucket, again, an important game the Yankees could have won to win 5 in a row and then kick it to their ace the next day. They do the bullpen blows it and just a litany of small things and then a AAA reliever to put the icing on the cake. Fun.
Crazy. All right, game number 2 is the Garrett Cole game. He goes 5 innings pitched, 3-run run. Nestor comes in behind him. They both gave up 3-run homers to Devers.
Yes.
For the 6 runs.
Yes.
And Cole was just emptying the tank early and often. They made him really work. He was looking good. The high fastball was crazy. In Devers' first at-bat, I believe he went all fastballs to him and struck him out, but it was an 8-pitch at-bat and finally got him going. But I remember at one point, like when it got...
There's a couple curves in there, 3 curves.
But what was the last couple?
Struck him out on a curve.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. But so then was there like a lot of 3-2 foul balls?
3-2 foul, 2-2 foul ball, and then a ball that was also 2 fastballs.
I just remember him thinking he was going a lot of fastballs. And then the next at-bat, I think he was 3 pitches. It was a 1-1. It was a fastball that he got, right?
Yeah, it was, let's see. The next at-bat, knuckle curve, fastball. And, Cole's presser was actually pretty funny. He's like, Devers good. Devers is good. I pumped a heater. He got me. Yeah, man. And Rafael Devers is a great baseball player, and he hits 2 3-run homers. That's going to be a tough game to win. But, 2 sides to every coin. Erod is out of the game in the first inning. He gets pulled. What was the injury? I'm blanking. Was it backside or was it migraines?
It was a migraine.
Migraines, I think. And he kicks it to Phillips Valdez with runners on 2nd and 3rd and no outs. And Phillips Valdez comes in and strikes everyone out. He hits Lamar, strikes out Gittins, hits Lamar, strikes out Greg Allen, strikes out DJ LeMahieu. So, I mean, the situation we just saw in this 4th game, if you have 2 productive outs, it's a 3-0 game. Top 2. Yeah.
You were looking at Cole versus Devers, his first at-bat. The second at-bat before the home run, it was fastball, changeup, fastball, curve, then fastball, 4 in a row challenging him.
Second at-bat.
The one right before the home run. Because I remember thinking, oh, man, he went fastball heavy that last at-bat. He should probably go off-speed heavy. Because Devers was kind of on the fastball. He was fouling it back. He eventually did get him. And then I was like, well, like you pretty much got him geared up in between those 2 at-bats to be like, fuck, I got to get this fastball.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was, Cole was doing his, 7th inning dial-up. It's going to be his last inning in the 4th. And you're like, I think, you could... Baseball fans could feel it. Boston goes into a cold day let's knock him around a little bit. Let's work the pitch count. And they were. That he's done after 5. Nasty Nestor comes in and looks good until the Devers homer. And then, that's just, what was it, 6-1? And that's just too much, far too much for this Yankees offense at this point.
Wait, Gary came out of this game with spasms. So he was totally... There weren't even spasms going on in Game 1. Right. So to not use him in Game 1 late was crazy at the time.
Yeah.
Valuing rest over urgency.
Which, again, we don't know if the back spasms, if there had been back stuff or whatever. But again, season on the line. So also.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah, that's kind of all there is in that one.
Game 3 is the one the Yankees won. I actually was I texted you, I said I'm going to the beach and I'm going to enjoy my Saturday and I'm not doing the pregame show. And I spent so much time on the beach and I spent like an hour plus in the water because it was beautiful low tide. Some people came up and said hi, thanks, appreciate you. Angelo was one kid's name.
Dr. Angelo.
And no, not a doctor.
Paging Dr. Angelo.
Not a doctor yet.
I'm telling someone else.
So I come home, and I just happened to come home at 4. Like, that's when the beach day ended. I got up there at 10 a.m. And so I watched the game. But I'm so tired. The Suns just killed me.
Sure.
And the Yankees are down 3-0, and it's the 6th inning. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to listen to it on my phone and just lay in bed because I need a little post-beach nap here.
Relax a little
Turned
bit.
into a post-beach full fall asleep, like deep sleep. I woke up, checked the score, saw they won 4-3, and almost like thought I was dreaming. I was like, that can't be correct.
Yeah.
I refreshed the ESPN app, and I did. And then I rewatched it, and like, how about that?
Yeah, and so
It's the nicest wake up from a post-beach nap I ever had.
yeah, man. I mean, this is funny. The Saturday prime game FS1 or whatever. So what do the Yankees do? And Kike hits a Little League homer to start the game. I mean, that's just good comedy. Like, can't get mad at it. Like, that's just grade A comedy there. And then Taillon, I mean, credit to him. The Yankees defense did him no favors. Rugi, who is just getting a ton of love for his defensive metrics, he has 2 errors. He has the throw on Kike, and then he boots the ball on Duran. Taillon settles in and gives like a nut-dropping performance to give 7 innings, 100 pitches, only 1 earned. That I tweeted in the 7th inning, like, the offense looks so dead. Evaldi was just mowing us down with ease. That it was like, hey, like, we need to show a little bit. Like, Taillon's earned that. Like, even if you put a couple runners on and that's it. And they end up doing it. Gardy with the big single. Ottavino comes in after that, and the Yankees go to work on Ottavino. Rugi, obviously, with the big double, and then Glaber with the single. So they, Red Sox were up 3-0. The Red Sox fans are calling this their worst loss of the season. And it probably is. And, I mean, this, looked like a Yankees rally. Chapman comes in, kind of an ugly 9th inning, 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Gets one past Kike for the punchy. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Again, it's nice, and it's an awesome rally, and it's the emotions.
It is a really nice rally. 2 strikes. Gardy started on an 0-2 2-strike pitch to keep it to get it going and score the first run.
They weren't the prettiest hits, but they were hits, and they were battling, and they were good at bats. Stanton with the double. They all landed in that same kind of right field area, and then Boston gets one the next inning, and it's just like, this is a dumb sport sometimes. But no, I mean, this was a good comeback. The bullpen bent but didn't break, and we hooked onto it that you get excited when you're up 4-0 and a no-hitter the next game.
Yeah. Stanton's double was 70 miles per hour exit velo, and Glaber's was 72. Rugi's was actually 97. It's a fly out in a lot of stadiums, but it was 97 off the bat.
They got that big wall.
Rugi also had a home run in 30 or 29 of 30 stadiums.
There was a couple of those going on. Geo's today.
I tweeted out, well, it was back-to-back because it was the Rugi one that went for an out, and then was it Kike or was it Dever? Kike that hit the top of the monster.
Yeah.
Because I was watching with people that don't usually watch baseball, and I was like, "That's a home run in like every other park." And then I was like, "That one's also a home run in like every other park."
Yeah.
And then there's a third one in dead center. It was a home run in like 10 other parks. And then someone said I was complaining. I'm not. I love that about baseball.
Right.
Go back and watch the games in the 80s with all the cookie cutter stadiums. Boring as shit.
And that was, I think. Was it the first game? There's always a lot of moments in games where you can put the pedal down even more. Glaber drove one, deep right field, and you're like, okay, so that would have been a 3-run homer. I think it was 22 other stadiums, and instead it's like an out. And you're playing the same stadium, and we've seen those Yankee Stadium short porch jobs, so it's just how it goes.
I mean, that's how it goes. That's the fun of baseball. All right, so they win that game.
Yeah.
And then they use that momentum, and they go into Game 4. And I know this sounds douchey or whatever, but I was almost going to text you about the pregame show, and I was going to say Herman deals today.
Ooh.
I just had a weird feeling
Like it.
that he would have. And he did. He took a no-hitter into the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And the Yankees, Rugi's bat came to play. I mean, he had the bloop single to get the first run across, right? And then he had the home run to push the fourth run across.
Third.
And
Glaber gets the RBI single
Glaber,
after Gary's triple.
Yeah.
Like we're having fucking fun. Gary triples as it's 4-0 in the 8th inning. And then, I mean, just one of the biggest collapses you'll see. Johnny Loizaga's stat line, 0.0 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 0 walks, 0 Ks, 10 pitches. 10 pitches. And Britton comes in. 1 inning clean in his stat line. Man.
Can we go through the dumb problems with this situation?
Yes.
Did he say anything about Chad in the postgame? Chad had to not be available today.
Right. I haven't seen any Chad Green quotes yet.
And then, have the Yankees ever had double barrel bullpen this year? Is that just something they also don't believe in? Because why dry hump a guy if you're not going to use him?
They do. They'll do it when I think it happened in the series. Abreu and Loizaga was up. They'll still do if we're down 4.
Okay.
But there's runners on the bases.
I think at one,
they'll be like,
I don't remember if it was this series or maybe it was at one point. I remember one where I was like, oh, this is clearly they're up 3 right now. If they get one more, it's this guy. Otherwise, it's
they'll never do two good relievers at once.
Loizaga pitched yesterday. He comes in to pitch today, and Loizaga's good, right? And
having a great year.
He took 10 days off, and now he's doing back-to-back right away. And the first 3 hitters,
he had COVID.
Yeah,
which it has an effect on people.
The first 3 hitters he faces, he gives up 3 hits, and the run scores, and now it's 2-run score, and now it's first and second, 1 out or no outs? No outs.
No outs.
No outs.
0 outs.
So it's first and second, 0 outs, and I believe Britton is either ready or close enough to ready at this point. He can come in. Britton can come in at this point. You can throw a bunch of pickups. You can do another mound visit. He can come in. Loizaga just gave up 3 hits in a row.
Yeah.
You have a force. You have a double play in order, and Britton is a ground ball machine. So just show some damn urgency and bring in Britton and take out the guy who just gave up 3 hits in a row. What's to lose if you make that move? They don't make that move. They keep Loizaga in, and what's to lose there is almost like the game because he gives up another hit. So now another run,
double.
Another double. So now another run scores, and now you don't have the force.
And by the way,
so you need Chad warming up as well, or at least close to ready or something, because Britton's a ground ball pitcher,
right?
Not a strikeout pitcher. And they know that, dude. They go to Chad in strikeout situations all the time with runners in scoring position without a force. They know that. And it's just, there's so many crazy things about how they manage this once they brought Britton in or once they didn't bring him in. Did you want to say something before all this?
So, I mean, there's a lot to say that's tied to this. Renfroe jumps him for the double. Vasquez, kind of a nice piece of hitting, bloops one out there. Franchi Cordero, who, Red Sox fans, I think, got a kind of a love-hate thing going. Johnny Laza has him 0-2. 0-2. He showed bunt and bunted it foul. Swinging strike on the sinker, a nice pitch. The 0-2 pitch from Johnny Laza, fastball right down the middle. So, that's a little bit of awareness that you have to understand you don't have your A stuff today. Fastball shouldn't even be on the table. Bounce 2 sliders, throw a changeup. A fastball cannot be on the table, never mind down the dick. So that's part of that situation. And if you're Boone and you see that has to be the red flag. And I want to do a little compare and contrast managers. Jimmy, the Yankees had a chance to kind of knock the doors off this game. Is that a phrase?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. They bring in Yaxel Rios. He's pitching for Boston.
Yeah.
He walks Urshela. He gets Lamar. He hits Greg Allen with a pitch. He walks DJ LeMahieu. Bases juiced. Yaxel Rios. They bring in Taylor, the lefty out of their bullpen, for Giancarlo Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
Giancarlo Stanton is one of the best MLB hitters all time versus left-handed hitting. But Cora went to another dude because Yaxel clearly didn't have it. So he goes to the lefty, he strikes out Stanton, and then he's set up for Odor, who he gets him to fly out to right. So, sure, maybe the pure numbers would tell you don't bring in the lefty for Stanton, but the eye test told you Yaxel Rios didn't have it. The Yankees basically stumble into the same shit a couple innings later. And like you said, when Kike doubled, it was over. It was second and third, no outs, and you're not bringing a strikeout pitcher. And by the way, Zach Britton's specialty is soft contact, and you don't bring in the infield?
Yeah, so that's what they almost brought in Britton and thought they were bringing in a strikeout pitcher. Like, Zach Britton, guys put the ball in play. So there's a couple options here. You either bring the infield in so you can get the out at home, the game tying run. It's the same as it's even worse than the situation from game one with the double play and bringing in Wilson and the intentional walk, because Zach Britton is like a 70% ground ball pitcher. How the fuck do you not have the middle infield in? There's no double play. There's no runner on first. Play. So there's zero reason to not have the middle infield in. There's zero. It's just a lack of thought. And then they get the ball, and there's no play at home. They get the easy out of first.
Right.
Then the go-ahead run now moves to third, and you get a shallow pop fly, and he scores. And then you get another out. So Zach Britton came in. He got 1, 2, 3 outs all in play. That's what he does.
Right.
And, like, you have to act accordingly. So either you bring, if you're not going to intentionally walk the first batter to set up the double play, then you bring the middle infield in.
Right.
Zach Britton needs force outs or nothing. He needs force outs.
Or clean bags.
Which is a force out, yeah.
God. No, it's unreal. I mean, I keep waiting to stumble into the, you know, obviously the reason you would keep the infield back is because, you know, when you bring the infield in, there is a higher percentage for hits to get through, and that's, you know, some basic baseball science there. But it happened, and it made the scenario worse for you because the run scored and the other runner got to third. So, like, the game is on the line. The game is on the line. And you got the chopper. And, like, how many times, if this was the opposite way, what happens? The Yankees chop it to short, they run on first contact, and they get mowed down at the plate. And we talk about the Yankees base running again. But instead, we kept the infield back for, like, the all-time weak contact pitcher.
You don't, like, at least...
He's
ground ball and, like, weak contact, specifically ground balls. And how do you not at least do, like, the third baseman? At least you could talk me into, it's wrong, but you could talk me into, like, well, shortstop, that's a tough play, so we'll just take the out. That'd be wrong, but you could talk me into it. But at least a third...
Like, you can't even live like that. You can't even live like that.
It's a one-run game, and as important as a July game can be.
What a disaster, huh?
Well, I'd like to know why they didn't bring the infield in. I'd truly like to know.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I don't know if they asked it in the post game, but I could, unless anyone else has an answer. They didn't care if the third run scored. They just rather get the out.
Yeah.
They'd rather stop a ball from getting to the outfield because then the runner. That's probably it. That's probably it. If it was hard contact, they would rather keep it in the infield with a nice diving play by the middle infield being back than it get past them, and now the runner on second scores and ties it. That's got to be their thought process.
But that still does nothing for you in, like, the journey of trying to win the game, you know?
Yeah.
And they still ultimately, like, the winning run came across on not a hit.
Right.
So, like, it didn't help. It's not like it took a hit for them to score. And
Rob in the chat says that they asked, and Boone basically said it was just a screw-up, which...
I mean, if that's true...
Oh, at least they're honest.
That can't be true.
Then that's a screw-up. Where are we at with Herman coming out to start the inning, we're obviously fine with that. He looked great.
Fine with all of that.
The inning before that was his 4 strikeout inning, so you can't. There's really no argument there. I mean, David Cohn had some really good quotes because he talked about his first game after when he had an aneurysm and he came back and he had a no-hitter through 85 pitches, and Joe Torre just told him, he's like, hey, there's no way you can complete this, so I'm going to pull the plug on it now. With how good Herman looked, especially his last inning, you kind of got to give him it. And it would have been an incredible, unbelievable play, but Greg Allen with a pretty bad pass route on that. He did a double turn on it.
Oh, yeah, it was like straight behind him.
Even if he runs a perfect route, I don't.
It's not an easy
No,
play.
but I don't know. The little things in baseball.
Here's his quote.
Circle up.
Here's Boone's quote on it. I just didn't want to get beat on something soft with no outs. In hindsight, that's the one I kind of question myself about. Should we have just sold out with no outs there? He didn't think about it. He's just saying that now. He's like, oh, shit, yeah, I should have brought the infield in.
That could have worked.
And have Chad and Britton both up.
Do we have a Chad quote yet?
There's an off day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have them both up. If you need balls in play out because you're looking for a double play, bring Britton in, which they should have instead of leaving Johnny Loizaga in.
Right.
Once they don't do that and Loizaga gives up the double and now there's no force and you need strikeouts to strand the runners, bring Chad in. What's the harm of having them both up? There's an off day tomorrow and we should be at peak urgency.
Right. Right. I mean, I was with Johnny Laza coming off COVID, and by the way, he looked really good in the start of his Game 3 performance where the Yes Network crew was having the debate, like, should Johnny go out to close this game because Chappie's been rocky? And then he got hit a little bit. He gave up 2 hits yesterday. He threw 18 pitches. So his first, he goes on the COVID aisle. He hasn't pitched in 10 days or whatever. He comes out, 18 pitches. He looked good to start. He ends up getting hit. I thought Chad was going to be the setup guy today. And the fact that he didn't pitch or even get up, that's got to concern you. The season is on the line. Like there could be a Chapman argument. There could have been an 8th inning Chapman argument, and it could have been very real. And guess what? A lot of other teams around baseball that aren't built like the Yankees, they're not built old school where, Chapman, I'm pitching the 9th, I'm the last guy out of the pen. Guess who would have been out for the White Sox? Liam Hendricks. Like, a lot of teams would have put their best reliever into that spot. The fact that we haven't even fully discussed Chapman shows, A, part of the problems with how the Yankees are built, and B, part of how we've been brainwashed. Almost any other team in baseball goes to their guy there.
Yeah, man. I mean, the whole bullpen was rested and like
off day coming.
What did they not say anything about Chad? He had to be promised an off day or something because you go to him over Loizaga because Loizaga pitched yesterday and coming back from COVID.
I thought the plan must have been Chad for the 9th because Chapman did throw 29 or 26 pitches yesterday, and that would have also been dumb with the off day coming. But at least we weren't going to go to Chapman 2 days in a row. But he was warming up to come in if there was a bottom of the 9th, so that's not what was happening.
All right, let's move on and let's give out some awards. Should be a good time. It's brought to you by Rise.
Oh.
I think I'm doing better. I'm going to check my sleep debt right now.
Tonight's a big one for me.
Sleep debt is the sleep debt. Rise helps you track your sleep debt. You can become a morning person, and don't worry, you don't have to stop using your phone before bed, and you can do it without buying a new mattress, supplements, or weighted blanket. Rise uses a scientific, fact-based approach to help you get the sleep your body needs. It's built around 2 principles that sleep researchers agree most affect how we feel and perform: sleep debt and circadian rhythm. We all have it, and we all like checking hours. And can I have some juice from you, please, Jake?
Juice you up.
Because I think when I'm down the shore, when I'm down at the beach, I get good night's sleep.
Mm.
Well, actually, I was up till 3 a.m., I think, a couple nights.
A little contradictory.
And I was in a rut coming back from Denver,
Sure.
and then we had a couple late nights here. Yankees were Sunday night, and their other series was a late night. I was in a bad spot, made a good dent this week.
Shit, man. Thursday night, because we had to wake up really early to go on that secret mission. I had to be out of my house by 6:45, 6:50.
Oh, that was the next day.
Yeah, and it was the Thursday night loss, and I'm just laying in bed thinking about it till 1 o'clock. I went to bed at 1. I woke up at 6, so that was a bad night's sleep for me. I didn't realize that. And then I doubled down, went to bed at 3:10 a.m. on Friday night, and helped my sleep debt at all this weekend. Last night I did pretty good, though. 2 a.m. to 10:20 this morning.
Like that.
Late nights. Late night watching I Think You Should Leave with Luke.
Ooh.
Oh, I finally finished some other skits. I think I have my favorite moment. Hardest I laughed at a single sketch. But I haven't talked to you about favorites or not favorites, but it's the driving one when he says, "Do you know how to fucking drive?" And he just goes, "No."
I'm scared. I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm scared.
that first drop is really good. No. Kind of ended it with too much yelling, so I didn't like the horn and the yelling. I'm like,
There were a couple
Gets
skits I
loud.
went like one line
too much
too
just
long.
yelling. Like you're but
Nope, you just wanna yell.
The initial no got me so bad.
I watched it
just
one
wanna
time
yell.
through, and I have bad brain and bad memory. The when he's in the full bodysuit, I remember laughing pretty
that's
good.
really good. I don't want to be around anymore.
So
I'm telling you, I am.
tonight, watch. I Think You Should Leave. Dad's gonna gum me up hard. Catch up. I haven't had I'm a 10-hour recoup guy. Tonight's the night.
You're gonna do your 10 hours? It's been a while for you.
Yeah. It's been, I think it was 2 Wednesdays ago. A little song I wrote. Don't worry.
According to Den of Geek, they say that the Ghost Tour is the #1 skit and Calico Cut Pants is #2.
That's nuts.
That is kind of
Ghost
Calico
Tour.
Cut Pants wasn't
Ghost
great.
Tour. I'm on board with, and it is in episode 1, so that adds up.
It hits you in the face pretty hard
Yeah,
the first time
it's
you
really
watch it.
good. Might be the best first watch sketch of
A lot
the
of
season.
emotions.
Oh my god, the driving school one, the tables one, is really good.
Tables.
What is her job? And then she figures it out at the end. All right, so the Rise Sleep app. Don't stay up all night with your little brother watching I Think You Should Leave. Get some sleep. Every morning, Rise also tells you how long you'll be groggy, when your peak focus times will be, and when you should start winding down for better sleep and more energy the next day. With Rise, you can improve 16 science-based habits that will help you reduce your sleep debt and optimize your day based on your energy schedule. Rise helps you realize your potential with real results. So go to risescience.com/Yanks. Download the Rise app today and try it for free for 7 days. Whether you want to become a morning person, be less exhausted during the day, or improve your productivity and daily energy, Rise is the power behind your next best day. That's risescience.com/Yanks. I was telling Jake casually, I think we were just having a phone call, that it really has changed my brain.
Right.
Like I seek out, because our work schedule doesn't allow us an everyday sleep pattern, because it's late nights, early mornings, late night. But I seek out, like you're seeking out tonight, a big day now to try and reset it.
What's happening?
It's not happening for me. I got a lot to do today.
Passing.
And tomorrow's an early morning for us.
Passing.
Let's go to awards. Awards. First award that we give out here is
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Jake. You get to go first.
My relationship with God comes back.
Getting better and better.
Pride of the Yankees. What a fun series it was. Man, I think call me crazy, call me maybe. I'm going with Rugi.
Yeah. He had to be. If you didn't choose him, I then had to.
He had 5 ribeye steaks. Shout out Billy Ripken. Game he won, he's got the big hit. He has the only home run this series that should have meant a lot more. And yeah, man, I mean, he's like the heart of the lineup right now. He's like, there's only a couple guys that when they come up to the dish right now, probably like him and now that Glaber's kind of going. But yeah, it's the Roogie show out there. It really is. I know we've made so many jokes about it. There's been highs, there's been lows. And here we are. And like he's looking like Cashman's best move of the season because
It's free.
he plays for free and he's been playing really well for like a month now.
The argument against him is the errors, and then he goes on to make up for those himself in that game.
Right.
So
Yeah, like when Stan got on in Game 4 and then Rugi came up, it was like, oh, thank God, it's Rugi.
Right. We have a chance. We have hope.
flair for the
It's
moment.
crazy. It's
We have
just
hope.
nuts.
It's just fun, rounding the bases, like you said, after the bunt. Like you,
Dapping up
the perfect showman.
dapping up everyone at second,
The perfect
then dapping up
showman.
Phil and whatever runners on third, and then heading straight into the dugout. It was pretty funny.
He's a ridiculous man. El Tipo, good follow on Instagram, by the way.
Rugi?
Yeah,
On Instagram, okay.
yeah.
Good job.
Who's your pride, James?
Dude, I am gonna go with Montgomery.
Ooh,
I liked Moody Montgomery in the dugout.
love Moody.
I liked that the Red Sox were, taking their time with the tarp on, tarp off, messing with them, trying to get Monty out of the game a little bit. Didn't really work. It kind of worked, but not really. He comes back out after the long delay and has just a breeze of an inning. And I also feel pretty bad for him because, like, he's on a really nice stretch here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel how it should feel because the Yankees offense have completely left him down. But I mean,
And go watch his presser, man. Like,
Monty's on a really good run. I mean, his last 11 games started, he has a 3.4 ERA. And that, that's got some clunkers in there a little bit, but I think if I go his last 6, he got a 3.4 ERA. So that's a good ERA.
good Monty.
I mean, that's going to win you games if your offense can fucking do anything.
It should win you games.
Yeah.
And go watch Monty's presser because that's, right after the Krisky incident and all that. And, hey, if you want your athletes to care and feel how you feel and not give, a lot of the Boone press conference answers, well, we're going to keep our head up and move on to the next day. I mean, Monty, what did he say? He's like, I'm sick to my stomach. And he looked it.
He's like,
he looked it.
Monty's like Voight last year for me. He's the only
Yeah.
one that looks pained by this.
Yeah.
And looks like in the dugout and everywhere, just genuinely frustrated. I could have went all starting pitchers or
Right.
all
They all
non-call.
kind of show.
Like if you wanted to, we don't like tripling up, but
Yeah.
I could have went Herman, Tyone, and Monty.
Yeah.
But how moody Monty is and
Moody Monty.
and coming back after the rain delay, I thought was kind of a message.
Yeah.
Like kind of a, no, I got some gumption in me message.
And by the way, that should have been so important because that should have been 5 in a row. Monty shuts out the Red Sox and we're passing it to Cole the next day. Like that should have mattered so much, and it just turns out to not.
My quick math is correct.
Quick math.
If it is, Jordan Montgomery retakes sole possession of third place on the season in Pride of the Yankee Awards.
Wow.
Rudinador tied him 3 minutes earlier.
Wow. Monty gets his ERA below 4 for the first time. Not for the first time, in a little bit. And Tyone now, whose ERA after 15 starts was 5.4. Now after 19 starts, Tyone's ERA is down to 4.3. So
He's on
They're-
a heater.
they're on their path to get a little better. If Tyone can finish under 4 and Monty can finish under 3.5, you're going to look back and say, oh, shit, not bad.
Dude, this fucking team, man. I had a couple fun thoughts. Like after the Gary Sanchez triple, I'm having a good time, man. Like Gary triples, that's fun. Sevy's giving him the fake wave home. And dude, you start thinking like, oh, this is a huge start for Herman. Does he get back on track? Tyone's been on track. Cole's good. Like Monty's been good. Like you start every time with this fucking team. Maybe this isn't I Think You Should Leave sketch. And we're just waiting for the punchline.
I think we are the
It's
punchline.
never gonna come.
I think like opposing fans tune in to this show and Yankees fans because the fans are the punchline. That'd be my guess on the situation. Mingo ends up giving up 1 earned today, right?
Yeah.
So, and he pitched 7 innings?
7.
So that's 93 on the year. So this dropped his ERA from 4.7 to 4.45. So he's also with Tyone under 4.5.
And he'd been on a really cold stretch. I think Kay said some stat like he'd been the worst starting pitcher over the last like month or something. It's like an 8.6 ERA in July.
Like his
coming into
mid-June
today.
to mid-July numbers were, I think, bad.
So felt like it mattered, and then we shoot ourselves in the feet. Aha.
Next award.
You Yankee motherfucker.
I'm giving mine to who I'm giving it to, so there may be a double up, just to let you know.
Okay.
I'm not going to.
Like yours is happening no matter what?
I'm not going to pivot from it, yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Not to scare you. I mean, if you
No,
want
I mean,
double
that
up,
was bullying. It was powerful. We all felt it.
I'm just saying.
That was the most serious you've been with me in a long time.
Yeah, I'm saying don't give me. I'm saying
And
like
we've had to have serious talks.
yeah, I'm just saying like it's gonna happen. You can.
You just want to go? I'll let you jump.
It's Boone.
Okay.
I think those two decisions.
Let's double down.
Yeah,
Screw it.
It's almost.
Like,
I was almost asking you to like please
if
double
you
down.
do the
with me.
relievers, it's
Yeah,
half rude.
No, I think the decision to not set
Yeah.
up the double play and then to not bring the infield in are, as situationally unaware as we've seen in his era of a manager. And there's been a lot, and you can nitpick about not bringing a guy in or like keeping a guy in or going with the wrong reliever or this or that. These are different.
Yeah.
These are straight up. If the analytics team gave him the 2 pieces of paper,
Right.
there's not a 50-50 debate.
No.
It's like you do that. So, I mean, this was the most heightened game, just like simple situations. And
Jim, we normally shy away from this because this is kind of crap, almost shock jockey, bad clips from like other podcasts. If George is alive and he's the owner,
No.
I think Boone could be fired today.
Oh, it would have happened already.
Right.
All-Star break, there would have been reckoning in June.
Yeah.
For sure. Man.
Boone would be gone by now. Tim's would have been fired before that.
And not to say that that's the greatest way to do it. Like when Hal
But
says,
it would have happened.
It would have happened, but I don't necessarily fully agree with that because I think it is like,
There's a nice middle ground.
until Torrey got like the wiggle room, he had to win in his first year to earn the wiggle room.
Right.
And then he got going, like, imagine it. But and they almost fired Torrey before he even managed a single game if Buck didn't turn him down. So I'm not advocating for like that, but if they don't make the playoffs, you have to change it up. I like Boone too. Like he's a nice guy, and I don't know if it's him or the.
I mean, that's what we're all waiting for.
I'm not
at
sure
this
how
point.
much of what we're mad at him for is his call.
I believe that those decisions are the manager's decision to bring the infield in.
This week,
Yeah.
The
this
two that
series,
that's why I'm saying I'm
Yeah.
not giving it to the analytics team. Like I've given motherfucker to the decision makers before. I believe that those are Boone's decisions to
Yeah.
bring in the infield. Because if those aren't his, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
They're very instinctual in the moment to set up the double play, so you're one pitch away from winning, and then to bring the infield in when you have a soft contact pitcher and a runner on third. I do believe those are his decisions, and the fact that and this isn't second guessing, because we were sitting there saying it at the time.
Moment.
Like I have video of me saying it. Like, why don't you walk Renfroe? I would walk Renfroe. So, yeah, it's bad, man. It's really bad.
Make it better.
All right.
I believe the number Yankees haven't made a mid-season coaching staff change since 1990, the year they were bad.
Who's that? Don Lemon?
Yeah. I think that's any coach. It hasn't happened mid-season.
Bob Lemon, not Don.
Who's Don Lemon?
Reporter, right?
There's for sure Don Lemons.
Yeah, he's a journalist.
Not Lemons.
Not Lemon. Don Lemon is a reporter.
I'm into Don Lemons.
Don Lemon, I
want
always
him
picture him
too.
at like riots and like crazy shit happening behind him, and he's reporting on scene of a riot.
I have Don Lemons, the lemon salesman.
Yeah. Well, that was his great. All right.
There's one more thing.
Regular old awards are brought to you by Talkin Giants. Hey,
Wow.
if baseball's done, I had a lot of people saying it's football season, baby. So if you're a Giants fan, head on over to Talkin Giants. It's on the JOMBOY Media Network. Bobby and Justin do an absolutely great job.
And having a great time.
And they have a good time. It's hosted by Bobby Skinner, Justin Pennick. It's a top-rated and most listened to New York Giants podcast. It's a must-listen for casual or diehard fans. Each show is filled with a mix of interviews, film analytics, player debates, and a whole lot of personality. They've had players on like Nick Gates, Darnay Holmes. Is that how you say it? Darnay? During the offseason, new episodes are released every Tuesday and Friday, and once the season starts, the guys put out an episode every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to check it out on the Talkin' Giants YouTube channel or anywhere else you listen to your podcast. Really good. Bobby gets really into the numbers and analytics, or not analytics, but really into the film breakdown of O-line stuff. Justin likes the analytics, yeah.
They're starting tomorrow. They're every day.
PPPs?
They're PPP. So
Hell yeah.
that's always a fun time. So
Wow, already.
if you're if you're looking to get into it, now's the time.
Yep.
Now's
All
the
right.
time.
Regular old awards. You get to go first.
Yada, 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 yada. Jim, I got kind of a silly one. I'll try to end on a lighter note. I'm giving out the 2-minute drill award.
2-minute drill.
2-minute drill. A little football.
Ooh.
Little keeping it going. Segue.
2-minute
Professional.
drill.
I'm professional. Homie, I'm professional.
Time's winding down. You got to act fast. You got to make the plays. You got games on the line. People in the chat are commenting like the Rays lost, and it's like, who cares?
Huge.
We're not chasing the Rays.
Huge.
The Yankees are not chasing
Keep
the
an eye on the
Rays or the
Oakland
Red
Athletics.
Sox.
Keep an eye on the Athletics.
The Rays losing means nothing. 2-minute drill. Sessa.
Now Rui.
My other guess was Nestor.
It's going to Gleyber Torres.
Wow.
Gleyber, by the way, he's starting to look pretty solid. Some good at bats. He kind of looks like Gleyber Torres, BBD, with a couple tweets that he's getting roped in. Jim, he had a nice series. He made a couple nice defensive plays, too, which was a real treat. Hits 357 this series, a little 5 for 14, 4 ribeye steaks. But, Jim, he gets a 2-minute drill for something a little silly. He was just calling quick timeouts. I think him and Bogarts, they have a couple friendly shortstop relationship type thing going on. So both times he stole a couple bags. He's up to 10 swipes on the season. He leads the Yankees. Every time he got to second base, I forget if there was a double or if it was just stolen bases. 4 stolen bases this series for Gleyber. He would call timeout as quickly as possible, and the ump obviously would give it to him. But he got Bogarts a couple times. Bogarts, checked with the ump, and he's like, he came off the bag. But Gleyber was just calling the quickest of timeouts, and in the 2-minute drill, you got to get your timeouts out. So, Gleyber Torres.
What are his numbers now? Because he looks good. He's playing good.
Right.
The power was there a little bit, but now it's going back to Dinkin and Duncan, which I'm not mad about.
Right, they were good at bat, Stinkin' Duncan, kind of.
The stolen bases.
O'Neal was complimenting him.
I like the stolen bases. Since the All-Star break, what's he been doing? Is it good numbers? What did he do today? Can you?
Today, I just clicked off. He was what? I'm back. He was 2 for 4 today. RBI and a hit.
2 for 4?
2 for
I
4.
assume you're trying to plug in some numbers, but not including today. His last 11 games, which is the start of the Houston series, he's batting .289 with a .943 OPS.
Okay.
Again, not including today.
2 for 4 is 9. So 7 hits, 2, 9, 4, 26 at bats. 30. 9 divided by 30 means his batting average is 300 exactly
Welcome to the math pod, folks.
since the All-Star break. And his OPS is 1 dot.
So that's
So
good.
he's having a hell of a second.
Well, he swiped 4 bags this series.
Man, I know he gets frustrating when Glaber's bad because the defense goes and like there was no power and it was like awful. I am rooting so hard for obviously. I mean, I hope everyone is, but like,
Right.
to have a good second half, because I feel bad.
He looks it, man, and he showed some good. He had the big smile after they took the lead in Game 3. That was a really nice image. And then today he threw the bat after he made an out because he's kind of dialed in right now. So like Glaber showing emotion like he should because he's 24 years old.
Good award. Good award. Good award. I am giving the Back Alley at Bats award.
Let's see it, Stanton. Come through, dude.
Yeah.
Come through, bro.
Giancarlo Stanton gets the Back Alley at Bats award. Jake and I have a new series going on. It's not that new anymore, but it's for every Wednesday on the JM Baseball channel where we play blitzball. And we play in an alley, so you can't really pull the ball at all because you pull it right into the wall and then it goes right to the pitcher. It ricochets for an out or it's an automatic single. And so it leads, not that we have good swings anyway, but it leads to like really bizarre swings.
Yeah.
Really bizarre because you're just trying to push everything. And it leads to some terrible swings and misses. And we also just have some terrible swings and misses. Sure. And the comments a lot are like, you guys' swings are garbage, which is fair.
Yeah.
I don't care. Stanton's swings this series were worse than yours and mine in Back Alley Bats.
Yeah.
If you were to put them in the same place, like just a silhouette of the swing, people would be like, yeah, that guy's the worst of the three.
Yeah.
And he's always swung different.
Right.
Like it's always a weird swing in general.
When it's not going, it always looks ugly.
It's just
Well,
different.
I mean, Kay was so fixated on like that one up at in Game 1 in the 10th where he was like, what?
Yeah.
He's just guess hitting and like getting got on pitches that are never strikes. So I don't know. I mean, he did have that bloop double, which really helped in the one win. And then he did have a hit at the end here to like extend it. But some of the swings and misses were all-time bad. And I think he'd look just like us in a game of Back Alley Bats.
It's wild. Another kind of actually a fun press conference because when Boone talks about baseball, that's when you end up getting some good stuff. And they were talking about Stan, and it's a lot of stuff we said on here. Like he hits the ball harder than everyone, but holy crap, is it unique? And like, let's be honest, the Yankees don't know what to do with it because no one's ever hit like that in the history of baseball. So you just kind of let it ride, and it's nuts what his stats look like at the end of this series. 267 batting average, a 421 on base. It didn't feel like that.
That's what I was about to bring up. He reached base all 4 games, multiple times reaching base in 3 of the 4.
It didn't feel like that because he was an automatic out the other time, swinging at pitches that were like not around.
And like the hits he got, they're real hits, but they're not like memorable pieces of contact.
His one today was the first one that was like in the 9th inning, which again, like, what would we be saying if Rugi puts one off the wall and they tie it up? We'd be like, and Stanton, he dialed it up for that last at bat.
Pinch ran Wade, but Stan's one that got on.
Stupid team. Good award, Jim.
Thank you. I actually made that one of the rare ones I have a whole note in my notes on my phone. It says Back Alley at Bat Award Stanton for bad weird swing.
It's good.
Yeah. I thought part of that was going to be because he has been walking a lot, and that's kind of what you're hoping for in Back Alley.
Sure, we can like Boone likes to just throw things in. I'm like, yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that's another reason.
It's kind of a nice wrinkle.
No, I was watching it at bat today, and I was like, that looks like me in the alley. It's bad. All right, next award, Jake. What do you got?
I'm giving out the Dead Magician Award.
Oh my God, the Dead Magician. Dead Magician. Hold on, I'm gonna get this.
You're gonna get this. You have this one. I think you got this one.
Dead magician. Chris Gittens?
Oh,
Because never seen someone
Jimmy.
get hurt by stepping on the
Jeez
bat.
and Rice.
Almost looks like he put the bat underneath his foot to step on
Come on, man.
it. Greg Allen or Litke? I don't know.
Chris Gittens. No, it's Greg Allen. Jim, there was a... Greg Allen was kind of the magic man coming into this series. Like Greg Allen MVPs. You heard him chanting it in the stands. And he just looked really good. He was having great at bats. He was kind of dialed in. 3 hit by pitches from the Sox. They said, no magic, Greg Allen. We don't want to deal with your voodoo right now. So we're just going to hit you.
Yeah, hit you in the leg, and then you won't steal any bags on us.
So pretty funny. I mean, his stats for the series, he goes 2 for 12, not good. 1 walk, 3 hit by pitches, he's 375 on base. So, like, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? Because in theory, that's kind of a good series by Greg Allen. At the same time, he was kind of neutralized. Like, he didn't, the impact he was having in the previous games, he didn't really have in this series. And the Red Sox hit him 3 times, which those would have been 3 home runs. So, dead magician.
Dead magician. Wow. I like it. Also with Stanton, we didn't talk about this. They said he was going to play the outfield, and he was going to play the outfield until Gittens stepped on his bat. That's what Boone said. He said Gittens was going to play first, and
How
Stanton
much do you
was
think Stan slipped Gittens to do that?
Now, and then Boone said, so now I'll have to wait till Miami because he's not going to play the outfield in Tampa because of the damn turf.
Yeah. So
I got reminded that Stanton was younger than us
Yeah.
the other day, and I was like, what?
Physically great shape.
I mean, how Gary out with like back stuff, but was available to hit? How's that not the game you try it when you said he was going to go today anyway?
The lineup yesterday made me furious. I didn't have my phone on me because we were at the beach, and I didn't take my phone to the beach because I was avoiding stress from the Yankees life.
Enjoying the beach.
I knew the lineup would probably have dropped, so I said, hey, Luke, my brother,
Loop.
you're on your phone. Tell me the lineup. And he started reading it off. He said, DJ, Gardner, Stanton, Odor. And I was like, who's pitching? Are they doing a bullpen day? And they were like, Evaldi. And I was like, what the fuck? You cannot. I'm going to say this every episode
Okay.
until the offseason, whenever I'll say it twice an episode.
Yes.
If you are going to make a lineup that's DJ righty, Gardy lefty, Stanton righty, Odor lefty, Glaber righty, Allen lefty, Gittens righty, Florio lefty. If you're going to make a righty lefty lineup, that means you believe in balance and having lefty hitters, and you cannot do that and then also sign nor trade for any fucking lefties and say we like the righty stack. It's like two heads of the departments are just fighting with each other. You can't. Either you don't believe in balance and you just believe in good hitters and cluster luck, or you believe in balance and separation, but you cannot have all your starters be righties, so you don't believe in lefties, but if you're going to play a lefty, who cares if it's Odor, Gardy, Allen, Florio? They're going to just go wherever they need to be to split up the righties. Well, so you do believe in it. It's really frustrating me. What do you believe in?
They have 2 different front offices.
Anyway.
They hate each other.
Yeah, on the macro level, they believe in just good hitters. And then day to day,
That's what they'd say, you know.
and day to day, it's
Stop applying to the
Need
front
a
office.
lefty. They might poach me.
We'll listen to offers.
I can be traded.
Have to be good, though. That's our stud. What'd you say your final word was?
I don't know who I want to talk about because there's a question I want to ask, but it's like
2 Dead Magician awards?
It's a rude award.
3 dead magicians.
Just going to give the, like, through the quad and into the gymnasium award.
Ooh. We're going streaking. Let's see. Someone you want to talk about. That means you feel like they deserve to be talked about. You like Gary a lot, and Gary's cute. The only other real option is Florial. I'll go with him.
No. Brett Gardner. He's gone streaking again. Just letting you know. Through his last 7 games, he's got like a 316 batting average. He got like a 420 on base percentage and 950 OPS. Not going to last, obviously, but the Piano Man numbers on the season are awful. But he currently is streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium right now. So I really wanted to give the Where'd You Go award.
Yeah.
To Clint.
Clint.
Do we have any updates? 2 weeks ago, they said he cleared vertigo and they're getting his eyes checked. And now...
They wanted to get him new eyes or something.
But it's been like 2 weeks since we got the eyes checked, I feel like.
Yeah.
At least
a week.
At least a week. And it feels like...
It was at least
I
like
go to eye doctors. I got contacts.
It was at least like since the team went away. And
yeah.
And like there's an avenue for playing time again.
Yeah. He's not... okay, so... He has not even resumed baseball activities? It's weird.
Waiting for the next update.
You're okay, Clint.
DJ, his on-base streak continues. He's at, what, 35, 36?
Yeah, got him to 35.
35. His numbers in those games are solid. I mean... Coming into today in that stretch, 290, 380, and 800 OPS. So, like, again, the power still missing. And that streak should feel a little more impactful.
Given that we know that he's on a 35 game on base streak, you would think the numbers were better. And the vibes you would think would be better.
It's just weird, man. Like, DJ comes up last 2 years, it used to feel like, okay. Like ball in the gap or what's about to happen. Like, I'm more in fear of double plays with him now than like anything else. I want to bargain up some guard dog stuff.
The latest quote on Boone about Clint was, he's going through the eye exams. I know he's going for a second opinion with Major League Baseball and all the data that they've collected on him. I have no idea when he may play again. He hasn't done any baseball activities, but he has been able to work out and run, so I think it's too early to say his season may be over. Which means his season may be over.
That's on the table.
They don't know what's up.
That's bizarre. It's scary.
Yeah.
Is it Drury or is it...
We have no
Obviously,
idea.
he has the concussion history, so he can't mess around with it. Just no idea.
Guardy's been half okay for like...
Obviously not good enough numbers,
2
but...
months.
2 months, you said?
Not the problem.
Since June 3rd, Brett Gardner has a 775 OPS.
Interesting.
Which, I mean, that's...
He's decidedly been not...
Because he had that sneaky June. It was one of my awards that, like, his June ended up looking okay. So when you said he's on another heater, like, they're kind of bizarre numbers, but they're technically good.
775 OPS right now?
Past 38 games.
Is that better than the MLB average slash line?
Yes. The batting average is low. So
yeah, right now it's
why it doesn't feel
720.
like it.
720 is the average OPS right now. What's he at over the last 30?
So over the last 38, 775 OPS.
He's been above average and playing defense in center field.
I think the few hits he had, the hits he has had with it being a low batting average, a lot of those I think have gone for extra bases.
He's got some pop. Yeah, it's kind of an ugly. It's a 216, 363, 775 OPS.
What's the Voit update?
No idea in Voit.
I don't know about his at specifics. I don't have a quote immediately at the front of my brain, but I know they said he's not that far.
Early August.
The other,
That's next week.
Yeah.
I don't know, the high note that I'd like to put out there, I mentioned it last show. I enjoy Florial. I mean, oh my God, by the way, they almost blow the game when him and Greg Allen collide. Imagine what we'd be doing right now if that had gone worse. But man, he had some really good at-bats in that third game. He goes 2 for 3, has a walk in that game. I thought when Florial came up, I thought he'd show some of the tools, like he'd connect with the ball and you'd be like, oh, he's got some pop, or, you know, he'd put a ball in the gap, beat out a grounder. Like, I thought we'd see the tools. He's giving better just at-bats than I thought. So I like that. It is funny that none of the veterans let him catch the ball in center field, but part of me likes that too.
That's his, like, hazing.
It's weird to put him in center, but both outfielders,
Brett and Greg are both like, nah.
Court outfielders like,
They're both like, well, we're actually center fielders and older
Yeah,
than you.
that's what it is.
So,
yes.
so we actually have the right of way.
his small sample size in 5 games and 4 starts is good, and I wonder.
Eye test is.
So can we do roster moves?
Okay.
Do they play tomorrow? Or do they have off day tomorrow?
Off day tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Can we do roster moves then? Because Judge is coming back.
For that, Florial, one of the big knocks against him was that he has like bad plate vision stuff, and it's anecdotally past the
in
eye
this brief
test.
period,
Some
and
good
that
takes.
can change very quick.
Can change very quick. But worth noting that was a big criticism of him as a minor leaguer. Continue.
Rob Brantley for Higgy when Higgy's
Easy.
back.
That
That's
one writes
done.
itself.
You'd assume Florial for
Judge.
Judge because he's got options. Otherwise, you're done with Greg Allen or you're done with Ryan Lamar. They would maybe do Lamar over Florial.
I think Lamar because because Judge is off the 40-man right now, so you have to do a 40-man move. So it's probably
Oh,
Lamar.
really?
Florial's already on the 40-man.
Right. Then that would lean Lamar because they don't want to get rid of Florial.
Well,
I would
was
assume.
Lamar or one of them a COVID call-up like Park where
I think maybe
It's not
Lamar was not. I forget who came up when Ambergy got hurt. That was Florial.
yeah. And
But
Ambergy was a
is-
COVID guy.
So maybe I don't know what matters anymore.
So
Well, hold on. If they can get rid of Lamar,
I think
not
they
get
can-
rid of. I'm sorry, Lamar.
He's
if
off
Lamar
the 40-man
can go
roster.
back to AAA, it's not a DFA situation
Right.
because he was a COVID replacement.
then it's probably
Then I think it's Lamar and they keep Florial around. Maybe.
They need the 40-man spot. He can go down without waivers or anything.
But actually, no, it's Florial. They want him to get consistent playing time.
probably yeah. That's
And
what they said.
unless he's going to be the starting center fielder.
Which, by the way, get ready for Yankees Twitter to get hot about that if that happens.
Yeah, because right now,
Florial's been the best player on the team.
I mean, in this short stretch, he's got a 444 on base
been
percentage.
Ain't bad.
And like it doesn't feel as fluky as it should, I guess. And then are any pitchers coming back? Who do we got?
Wandy still has to come back.
Juan DP. My guy, Mike King, they said he's not even
King.
close, so no.
Yeah, no, they said King's not close.
Nestor came back, so
Nestor is back and Laz is back.
And Nestor's going to start in Tampa, right?
yes. I think they're going Monty, Nestor, Cole.
That
Weird.
is correct.
That is correct.
The Rays are McClanahan, Waka, Patino. Won't see Colin McHugh. He went on the IL today.
Trade deadline predictions. What do you think they're going to do?
You can't do anything. You can't get can't get around.
They're not going to do anything?
Can't get a rental.
So what do you think they're going to do? I mean, if they do nothing,
Dude,
they're
I
gonna
have
get killed.
no idea
Yeah.
what they're going to do.
That's kind of why I asked.
But I mean,
still think they're going to do small rentals, prospects that are never going to make it, and they'll get 2 veterans, and they'll hope they click.
who's
they'll
that?
hope they Roogie.
Who's that?
C.J. Crone, a bullpen arm.
I'd have to look around. Maybe that'll be something we do for
Yeah.
Tuesday's app. But there's probably some move you can trade an organizational top 20.
I remember when you found out the Archie Bradley trade last year?
He had a year.
Right. But so
And
again,
maybe they get
imagine that
someone like
value
that.
if he didn't. And they declined his option. So But, like, I could see them doing something like that because you're going to give away a prospect that's probably not going to make it for 2 months
An
of a
impact
reliever.
level.
Because, dude, right now in the back of their bullpen,
I hope they don't do that.
it's
I hope if they trade for someone, they trade for someone that has a year and helps them next year. Like when,
then Archie Bradley would still kind of work.
yeah, I don't want them to do a rental. Like when the Reds or the Mets traded for Stroman, even though they weren't in it, and now they have Stroman.
Okay.
Or the Reds traded for Bauer, even though they weren't in it, and now they have
Plan for the
Bauer.
next year. Okay, that
Like
would be
let's
cool.
let's use this trade deadline as the free agency. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, who cares about this year? At best, you're a second wild card with a team that's not playing well and not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So I don't want to. I don't want a rental at all. But if you can get someone, because their prospects, some of the prospects right now,
Right.
are the highest value they're going to be, and that's not really like a shot. Like, but
No.
there's so many in the system that are having fantastic seasons
Peraza, a lot of
in the
pitchers
minor
are
leagues.
shoving.
So if you can hit on some of those and help for next year, and maybe they help this year too. Who cares? But like,
Right.
you know, the Mets traded for Stroman when they weren't making it. Now
Right.
Stroman's one of the best pitchers, leading start. So if they can take some of these prospects who value are super high and get someone that's going to help maybe this year, but definitely be around for next year or another year, that's what the type of person I'd be doing. I think if they go for true rentals, they're delusional.
Yeah. Yes to both.
Yeah.
Yes to both.
We can talk a little bit about that more in the midweek show, and then come this Friday, it's the trade deadline, so we're on watch.
Thursday's the
And
end of
there's
the
gonna
Tampa
be-
series.
There's going to be an extra episode of Talkin Yanks.
There'll be Eps.
At minimum one extra one. They can do nothing, and we're going to need to talk about that. So, I meant to text you about that yesterday.
Yeah.
That
We'll
kinda
let you
clicked in
guys
my
know.
brain.
All righty. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you. We will see you on. Well, you won't be here for the Tuesday, right?
I will not.
Will you be here on Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll figure out a midweek show. All right.
Yeah, dude, figure out JJR, right?
Yeah. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.